In the gritty underworld of DC's drug trade, few names command as much respect and fear as Wayne Perry. Born and bred in the heart of Washington, D.C., Perry was no stranger to the harsh realities of the streets. His story is one steeped in violence, power, and a relentless pursuit of dominance in a world where only the strongest survive. From a young age, Perry had a clear vision of his path, one that was far removed from the conventional norms of society. His journey into the drug trade was not accidental, but a calculated decision. The streets were his classroom, and he was an eager student, learning the ropes of the trade, mastering the art of survival. As Perry grew older, his ambition became evident. He was not satisfied with being just another player. He wanted to control the game. His ruthless tactics and strategic alliances quickly propelled him to the top. Perry was not just a participant in the drug trade. He was a puppet master, pulling the strings and orchestrating the events that shaped DC's drug scene. His reign was marked by a unique blend of fear and respect. Perry was known for his brutal approach to business, and his reputation for violence kept many at bay. Yet it was not just his capacity for brutality that made him a formidable figure. Perry was also a master strategist, using his understanding of the streets, alliances, and rivalries to maintain control. His influence extended beyond the boundaries of the drug trade. In a city marred by violence and crime, Perry's name was synonymous with power. His grip on the city was so strong that even law enforcement agencies struggled to challenge his reign. As Perry's reign continued, his influence grew. His name became a symbol of power, a testament to his control over the volatile world of the DC drug trade. With a city under his thumb and a reputation that spread like wildfire, Perry was at the peak of his reign. But like any empire built on blood and betrayal, Perry's reign was destined to crumble. Just as swiftly as Wayne Perry had risen to power, the forces that would lead to his downfall were gathering momentum. The net was closing in. His reign of terror had not gone unnoticed. The authorities, with their eyes wide open, were watching, waiting, and preparing to strike. Law enforcement was becoming more and more concerned about the escalating violence in the city. The blood-soaked streets bore testimony to the brutal battles fought for control over the illicit drug trade. A growing sense of urgency was palpable. An operation was launched, its sole purpose to bring down the kingpin and restore peace to the embattled city. Perry, too, was aware of the mounting pressure. He was no fool. He knew the law was on his trail. Yet he continued his violent spree, believing he could outrun the inevitable. With each act of brutality, he unwittingly sowed the seeds of his own downfall. His arrogance only served to turn the spotlight on himself. Soon enough, the day of reckoning arrived. Perry was arrested, caught in the act of yet another violent crime. His kingdom, once seemingly invincible, was now in shambles. His loyalists, those who had once pledged their undying allegiance, quickly turned on him, seeking to save their own skins. His arrest sent shockwaves through the city. The man once feared by all was now just another inmate, awaiting his fate. As the reality of his situation set in, Perry found himself alone, devoid of the power and influence he once wielded. His trial was swift and decisive. The evidence against him was overwhelming. The jury, horrified by the brutality of his crimes, had little difficulty in reaching a verdict. Perry was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. In the end, it was not a rival gang or a bullet that brought down Wayne Perry. It was his own hubris, his belief that he was untouchable. His story serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of unchecked ambition. Perry's reign ended not with a bang, but with the slow, inevitable march of justice. Perry's downfall left a vacuum in DC's drug trade, and the city was left to grapple with the consequences. Imagine a city teetering on the edge of chaos. The once seemingly invincible kingpin had fallen, and his kingdom was left in disarray. Perry's arrest sent shockwaves through the underworld. His absence created a power vacuum, and what followed was a violent scramble for control. The streets of DC became a battlefield. Various factions vied for dominance, each eager to fill the void left by Perry. The city was no stranger to violence, but in the aftermath of Perry's arrest, the bloodshed reached unprecedented levels. The drug trade didn't just continue, it flourished, further fueled by the power struggles and territorial disputes. But the aftermath was not just about the drug trade and the territorial disputes. It was about the communities that bore the brunt of the violence and chaos. Perry's reign had created a culture of fear and mistrust. Neighborhoods were torn apart, families were destroyed, and the social fabric of DC was left in tatters. In the years that followed, the city struggled to heal. The violence had left deep wounds, both seen and unseen. For many, Perry's reign was a dark chapter in DC's history, a period of time that they would rather forget. But forgetting is not an option. The effects of Perry's reign are still felt today, in the neighborhoods he once controlled, in the lives he forever altered. And so we are left with a complex legacy. On one hand, Perry was a ruthless kingpin, a man who ruled with an iron fist and showed no mercy. On the other hand, he was a product of his environment, a man who rose to power in a city plagued by poverty and violence. Perry's legacy is one of violence and fear, a reminder of a dark chapter in DC's history. But it's also a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the devastating impact of the drug trade on our communities. Despite his crimes, Wayne Perry's influence in the drug game is undeniable. A figure of notoriety and fear, Perry's name echoed in the streets of Washington, D.C., a city he once ruled with an iron fist. His tactics in the drug trade were as ruthless as they were innovative, marking a new era of crime that would forever change the landscape of the city. Perry was a master of manipulation and control, using fear and intimidation to secure his position at the top. He was known for his strategic alliances, his uncanny ability to evade law enforcement, and his ruthless enforcement of the drug trade. His tactics, while brutal, were undeniably effective, creating a network of control that extended throughout the city. But Perry's influence wasn't just confined to the streets. His reputation was such that it transcended the boundaries of reality, becoming a thing of myth. In popular culture, Perry's name has become synonymous with power, ruthlessness, and the relentless pursuit of wealth. His story has been told and retold, each time becoming more embellished, more larger than life. In music, in film, in literature, Perry's legend lives on, a symbol of the dark underbelly of the American dream. Yet, for all his power and influence, Perry's story is also a cautionary tale. His pursuit of power led to his downfall, his ambition becoming his own worst enemy. His reign of terror came at a great cost, leaving a trail of victims in its wake. His legacy, while enduring, is a chilling reminder of the destructive force of unchecked ambition. Wayne Perry's story is a chilling reminder of the cost of power and the destructive force of ambition. From his rise to power to his ultimate downfall, Perry's life serves as a stark warning of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the devastating impact it can have on individuals and communities alike. As we delve deeper into Perry's life and legacy, we are forced to confront the harsh realities of the drug trade and the lasting effects it has on our society. Wayne Perry's story is more than a tale of crime and punishment. It's a reflection of a city and an era. A time when the streets of Washington, D.C. were ruled not by politicians and lawmakers, but by kingpins and mobsters. A time when power was held not in marble halls, but in the dark corners of the city's underbelly. Perry's influence on the drug game was undeniable. His cunning strategy, ruthless nature, and relentless ambition allowed him to climb the ranks, transforming the drug trade in the process. He was a feared figure, a symbol of the brutal reality of the streets. But his reign was not to last. His downfall, like so many before him, came at the hands of the very system he had manipulated for his gain. Arrested, tried, and sentenced, Perry's reign came to a sudden and decisive end. His story serves as a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of power gained through illicit means. But the story of Wayne Perry is not just about one man. It's about a city, a society, and the stark inequalities that can push people towards a life of crime. It's about the structures of power that can be exploited by those who are ruthless enough, and the often devastating consequences of such exploitation. Perry's story is also a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition. His ruthless pursuit of power led him down a dark path and ultimately to his downfall. It's a reminder that power, when gained through illicit means, is often fleeting and comes with a steep price. As we reflect on the story of Wayne Perry, we are reminded of the larger issues at play. Issues of crime, power, and social inequality that continue to plague our society. We are reminded of the complexities of the human condition and the often blurred lines between right and wrong. As we delve into the depths of the underworld, we are reminded that the allure of power can often mask the true cost of ambition. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe for more true crime stories like this.